Hello, everyone. I hope you are having an incredible week as we study the ancient Romans. I just wanted to pop in for a moment and touch base with you on the Roman values paragraph. I am starting to get some submissions in and I am seeing some really terrific ideas. However, the majority of the directions are not being followed. So I just wanted to kind of go through a few of the key expectations with you. If you have already submitted, please do not worry. You will have an opportunity to edit and resubmit before the Sunday 11:59 deadline. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at what we are doing this week. So one of the major differences between this assignment and maybe other essays is that it's just going to be a paragraph. So ordinarily in an essay, we would write the introduction and then end with the thesis statement. But this time, we are actually going to start with our topic sentence, our controlling idea, which is going to serve as our thesis. And it is going to kind of reveal the primary point of the whole paragraph. And I actually have given you a very specific format in which to follow, and you're going to find in the rubric, this is going to be one of the rubric requirements, is that it follows this format. The Roman value of blank is illustrated by blank. So in that very first blank, you are going to place a value. And I have actually given you in this week's module a list of sort of key values to Roman culture. There are others, but you probably want to stick with one of the ones that I have included in the module just to make extra sure that everything is on track. Then in the second blank, you are going to place the title of an artifact. What do I mean by artifact? Well, this is a humanities course, so think about some of the different artifacts that we study in this course in order to understand the cultures of the past. So for instance, you might place the name of a statue here, which would be an example of artwork, for instance, the Augusta of Prima Porta. Or you might use the Aeneid, which is a piece of literature, an epic poem written by the poet Virgil. We also have many different architectural examples that maybe you will want to analyze for the purposes of this assignment. Now, if you aren't sure what to analyze, you can get ideas from your textbook. Your textbook has a number of explanations and photos of some of these artifacts. You can look in the module, and you can also look in the open web. I just caution you, many times when I see students get off course, it's because they went to the open web instead of sticking to the course content, and sometimes they will use an artifact that maybe doesn't really qualify as Roman. For instance, an example from that was created by Romans maybe during the Renaissance, which is not exactly what we're working on this week. The Renaissance is still a couple of weeks away. We are focused on ancient Rome at this time. So that's what's going to go in there. And then from there, you are going to work through the various bullets. I would treat them almost as sort of a checklist. So after you've satisfied each one of these bullets, you can even if you wanted to print it out and put a little checklist just to make sure that you have met that requirement, you can do that. So for instance, after your topic sentence, the next thing you're going to do is this explanation of key terminology. So perhaps the value that you are discussing there is going to need a little bit of explanation. So you would explain what, maybe for instance, what Romanaldus means. If you need to explain any terminology in terms of your artifact, for instance, if you need to explain what a mosaic is, that's going to be where you do that. And then you're just going to keep working through these various bullets, just as I indicated there. Okay, and then when we get down to the bottom, this is actually the bullet where students seem to either not complete it or do not quite complete it correctly. So in this last bullet, you are actually going to turn that critical eye that you were just using for the Roman value in the Roman artifact, and you're going to turn it towards a modern value in a modern artifact. So you are going to kind of consider a work. It could be literature, it could be art, it could be a TV show, it could be a film, it could be a song, just something that you think is sort of represents a particular value in our culture. For instance, a couple of examples I give in the directions One is if you are familiar with the books or the films on the Hunger Games, you know that Katniss Everdeen, she is the embodiment of bravery. She demonstrates, she illustrates bravery, and that is definitely bravery, courage. That is a value that we hold in American culture. Another one is Oppenheimer. That was a blockbuster film. It was very, very popular. And I think in part because it embodies the value of American militarism, right? Well, there's a tremendous amount of value placed on the military. In fact, some of you have already posted that in your Roman values discussion boards. So make sure you are following that direction. But if you have any questions about it, you are always welcome to reach out to me. In addition, make sure your paper is submitted in MLA format, and that's going to include an MLA header, heading, and title. This is that sample MLA paper that was provided in the orientation module. If you'd like to refer back to it, it is there. You can just go to that page in the orientation module and click on the link. So first of all MLA papers include an MLA header. That's going to include your last name and the page number. There's a very specific way of doing this in Microsoft Word. There's a few steps, so I am going to include those steps in the comments section for this video, so you can just take this one at a time. You also will have an MLA heading. This is not inserted using the header feature. It's going to be part of the rest of the page. The first piece of information that will be in there is your name. It's going to be in first name, last name format, just like you would ordinarily write it. Then you will include my name, then the course title, which is HUM 1020 or Intro to Humanities, and then the date. The date should be in a very specific format in MLA, and that's going to be date, month, year. So in this case, it would be 12 February 2025. And then under there, you are going to center your original title. You will also include MLA in-text citations. So wherever you use the sources for your various research within your Roman values paragraph, you are going to include a citation. In MLA, that's going to include the author's last name and the page number. Okay. So if we look at this citation, we know that that direct quote, that information that's in the quotation marks, came from Danhof on page 71. Now, I realize we live in the digital age and a great many of our sources are actually digital, so they might not have page numbers. If that's the case, you just don't include the page number. It would just be the author like that. All right, and you are also going to include a works cited. The works cited is going to be the last page of your document, of your submission for your Roman values paragraph. And this is where you're going to list the various works that you use to help you write your Roman values paragraph. You will see here at the top that this page is labeled works cited because that is what we use in MLA. That is the terminology that is used in MLA. We do not use citation or sources. There's no colon after works cited. We don't use the word references because references is actually APA. In MLA, it is very specifically works cited. Then from there, you're going to list your various works using the format that is required by MLA for the type of source. For the most part, you guys are probably going to be using electronic sources, so you can go to that orientation module for that format. It's almost going to be like filling out a form where you put whatever information goes in each little section. If you use the Valencia library, there is also an automatic citation generator. It's actually my recommendation to you is to use the Valencia library. And then at somewhere on the page, you'll see a cite button. You'll click on the cite button. You will select MLA format because that is the format we are working in. And then you can copy the citation from there into your works cited. So please know that this is a gateway class, and I know a lot of us are just beginning to learn how to cite in MLA, and that's okay. We're all new at first. However, you should be looking at these resources to guide your formatting. We don't really want to try to like wing it or kind of come up with our own format. Notice that, for instance, none of the works are numbered. We don't like do that corresponding. I know a lot of middle schools and high schools, they're kind of using a format like that, but that's actually not any of the major citations formats that are used in colleges and universities around the United States. So please know that I'm always here to answer any of your questions about about the assignment, about MLA formatting, anything at all. I always enjoy hearing from you. A lot of times students will begin emails with, I'm sorry for bothering you. You are never bothering me. I'm always thrilled to hear from you and to provide additional support. So I think that's it. Again, if you have any questions about that Roman values paragraph, or maybe you're just not really all that confident in your content, go ahead and shoot me an email. You can attach your document. I'll take a look at it and see if there's any action needs to be taken or if it's on course. So, all right, well, have a great week, guys, and I will see you on the discussion board.